This thing holds about 40 terabytes plus of all of my creative and personal life. I'm talking years of YouTube videos. I'm talking personal documents, that raw footage or video that I'm not even sure if I'm going to use yet, but I just can't afford to lose. Now, NAS systems did not always look like what you're seeing right here. They weren't always this sleek and compact. Now, my old system was about twice the size of this guy right here, and I've seen even much larger NAS systems that were DIY'd and essentially are full tower PCs. They haven't historically always been portable, but they've gotten portable over time. And this right here is a perfect example of what they're looking like right now and how they're being packaged and made to be more accessible. My old system ran on Unraid OS. It was much more complicated to set up. Even worse was the manual method required to take out drives or install new ones. It was essentially a process that was made for an enthusiast, someone who was interested in building a PC and really wanted the benefits of a server. It definitely wasn't meant for the average consumer. Now, there's nothing wrong with the DIY option, but that was a major block or a reason why most people didn't look into NAS systems in the past. It was intimidating. The system wasn't, easy to build. This guy right here essentially builds on the old systems and makes it much more accessible and easier for just about anybody. Now, I'm gonna go into it a bit more and explain the evolution of NAS systems and how they've become much easier and much more accessible for just about anybody. Now, just like a lot of you guys out there, I also started off using the cloud as my main source of storage, my backup. But over time, as more files accumulated, I'm talking both in my personal life and my creative life, that stuff didn't work out. It didn't work out for me. The cost was rising as well, and I'm talking at an exponential rate. It was going up crazy. So I decided, it's time to invest in a local system, something that scales as I scale. And with that, I decided to build my first DIY NAS. And to be honest, it was a sharp learning curve. Like I learned a lot in that process. It was a lot of flexibility. I put Unraid OS on there, which if you know how it operates, then it requires a lot of tinkering, a lot of understanding how it works before you kind of are comfortable with it. I went ahead and bought parts as well as used old PC parts that I had to build my first DIY system, which honestly I will not recommend most people do unless you're comfortable building PCs and managing them. Unraid OS is not something I'd say is for the average person as well. It's not very user-friendly. I mean, if you learn the process or if you're very tech savvy, then you'll probably understand how to use it. But most people will not. I'm sure of it. I'm just telling you guys right now. And it definitely gave me some challenge at the start. And honestly, once I found an alternative to it, even though it was less powered and had less features, I still decided to switch and try that out. My biggest goal here was to find something that was simple and easy to work with. The OS had to be something like Linux is to Windows, if you know what I mean. But essentially, I wanted a simple system that didn't require extra work to manage, especially considering I was always busy with actual creative workflow. The easiest way I like to explain this is that if you wanted a NAS back then you essentially had to be technical or you hire an IT department. When on your journey to becoming a content creator, nobody ever warns you about the constant accumulation of files, folders, videos, content that you're going to build up. You're going to have a plan for that. And most people do not plan for it. I didn't. I know I definitely didn't. At the start, the cloud was enough. But once I got past that first 10 gigabytes of data that I was given for free, I went to a different platform, did the same thing, and then kept bouncing between platforms, creating fragmentation. So all of my data was spread across multiple platforms. At one point, my videos were so large, I had to start putting them on multiple different HDD drives. So I pick up a 4 terabyte HDD drive or something, and I just stuff videos on there, pack it up, get another one, do the same thing. But honestly, it wasn't really smart. Over time, as the storage requirements kept rising, more files were created, more videos were made, more deals were signed, so the documents and everything kept piling up. And my DIY NAS was becoming harder and harder to manage. Replacing drives or adding new drives was more work than it was worth. I didn't really enjoy doing that. So that's when I decided to look into the world of pre-built NASs, ones that are, I'm talking more modern ones, not the pre-built from the past. Those ones I never really considered as, easy to use. I think what really happened was manufacturers realized that there was a gap in the market with the rising cost of cloud storage, and the fact that NASs were an enthusiast thing at the time. It was really something that they could really tap into. And that right there is where the evolution began. Cloud services became popular due to how easy it was to transition to them. Most people don't like to know how things work. They just want it to work. And that's exactly what cloud services presented. You didn't have to think about it. All you had to do was pay a certain fee monthly and your files were backed up. They were saved somewhere in a secure vault that you didn't even know where it was. But it also created dependency. People started subscribing to multiple different services to reduce cost. And honestly, that created a whole new problem. File fragmentation. You have files scattered across all these different platforms, making it much harder and much more time consuming to find files. And that's not progress, that's going backwards. Nowadays, what I've noticed is people want ownership over complexity. That means owning your files locally. I'm talking having privacy, having control over your entire digital life. Today, this system over here holds over 40 terabytes of my digital life, from active to archived projects, important documents, and personal media. This thing holds everything and has the capacity to hold even more. Now, while the storage capacity wasn't a major upgrade or anything like that, because I could have just done this with my old DIY system or pretty much any other system from the past, the big upgrade wasn't in the storage department. It was essentially in the shift from an enthusiast level system to something that's sleek, modern, and highly optimized for everyday users. Like, look at this thing. This is no longer a system that I've put together piece by piece and have to manage consistently. It's now a purpose-built system that's been highly optimized to reduce management and maintenance. That just means that I'm gonna have more time on my hands to put towards creative work. It's called D6 Ultra from a company called Zettlab, a modern NAS system designed around creators and everyday users, not just people who enjoy building PCs. Hardware and software are tightly integrated and it runs on its own OS, not some generic Linux interface or a plug-in heavy dashboard. The chassis is compact and rack-friendly, but it's also refined enough to sit on a media console or in an office or studio space without looking out of place. This is what happens when NAS design moves beyond enthusiast culture. The D6 Ultra uses 6 toolless drive bays, which, to be honest, is a major upgrade from my old DIY setup. All 6 of them could also be quickly ejected to add or swap out drives as needed. The trays support both HDDs and SSDs, you just have to adjust it or adapt it to each one. I installed 6 16 terabyte hard drives running 5 for storage and 1 as parity for redundancy. On the underside, there are dual NVMe slots accessible through a small square compartment. I added 2 4 terabyte drives there in order to help speed up transfers between the SSD and the main HDD array. There's also a built-in front display that shows useful system information at a glance. Things like remote ID for remote access, storage capacity, and more. Older NAS systems required full tower builds, motherboard selection, and careful hardware planning. But with units like the D6 Ultra, these decisions are already made for you. Modern systems come purpose-built. They're designed to integrate cleanly into your setup and quietly stay out of the way as well. That's the biggest transition of that entire category. Older NAS systems typically felt like servers. They had intimidating dashboards, dense menus, and a lot of technical lingo. The UI design essentially assumed you already knew what you were doing. The D6 Ultra comes with a new approach. It runs a custom-built operating system called ZOS, structured more like a modern desktop OS than a traditional server panel. The system is app-based with a dock-style navigation that'll feel familiar if you've ever used Apple devices. The storage overview has a clean layout and it's got built-in tools that replace the need for hunting down community plugins. There's even a native app store with a solid range of apps that expands the device's functionality without turning setup into a whole project. You're not going to be SSHing into anything, you're not manually configuring disks, you're not troubleshooting compatibility issues, you're interacting with a system designed for everyday users. And that shift alone expands the category on who NAS systems are for. One of the biggest shifts with the D6 Ultra is that it doesn't just store files, it actually interacts with them. It's got built-in AI indexing that automatically organizes your content. It's not perfect, but I think it's a pretty strong start. It reads photo metadata, categorizes images, and makes large libraries searchable without relying entirely on disciplined manual folder organization. On older systems, even pre-built ones, this usually requires separate tools or a lot of effort. Here, it's built directly into ZOS. There's a dedicated search tab that's right on the home screen, and since using it, I found myself digging through folders much less. Sometimes I just type out a keyword, hit enter, and the system searches. And that's the difference between storage and intelligent storage. The system also includes a chatbot. It functions similarly to tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, but it runs locally on the device, meaning it works even without internet access. Now, to be clear, it's not as powerful as cloud-based models. The default model is lightweight and built into ZOS. You can easily switch to other models, but larger ones will struggle, or they won't even run at all. If you want to push it further, there's a PCIe port on the back for adding an external GPU, so the expandability is there. The AI layer also extends into tools like video transcription. Inside one of ZOS's official apps called Clip, it can generate subtitles and export them in multiple formats, along with a few light utility features. I mean, it's not something that I rely on yet, but the direction is pretty clear. This is not just storage anymore. It's storage that learns and understands what it holds. And that right there is a different category entirely. Integrated systems like the D6 Ultra handle backup and sync natively. Inside ZOS, there's a dedicated sync and backup app that lets you back up part or even all of the NAS to another location, whether that's a second NAS or a cloud drive. It also works in reverse, backing up other devices directly onto the D6 Ultra. The sync feature is something I now use all the time. I keep my active project folder on my desktop mirrored to the NAS, and then any changes made on the desktop will update automatically on the NAS. So if something gets lost or corrupted, an updated duplicate is already there. For Mac users, it can also function as a native time machine destination. You can also enable automatic photo and media backups from your phone through the mobile app, and access everything later from the app or a computer. There's even a built-in archive management that flags similar or duplicate photos to help keep everything organized. I mean, it's not perfect as I still have to review a lot manually, but it definitely adds a helpful management layer on top of large-scale storage. One feature on the D6 Ultra that really shows its creative focus is the built-in autocopy button. On the front of the device, you've got a variety of I/O ports that let you transfer data directly from a storage medium into the NAS without needing a computer interface. I use this a lot now, especially when moving footage and photos from camera cards into the NAS in between my video shoots. This level of simplicity isn't typical in the world of NAS systems. Historically, they weren't designed specifically for creators or everyday users. Inside it, you can configure exactly how you want the copy to behave for each data source, including what files to import, whether to transcode, and even whether to delete the source files right after copying. I feel like it's appliance level simplicity built on top of server level storage, and that's a very meaningful upgrade. Cooling on the D6 Ultra is handled by rear mounted active fans. I found that in a rack setup like mine, the noise is very subtle whenever I'm nearby, and once the room door is closed, it's essentially non-existent. In a desk setup, you'll definitely notice it more, but even then, it's still noticeably quieter than older NAS systems that I've used. At the end of the day, it's still hardware, and evolution improves design but doesn't eliminate physics. That said, fan modes and other system settings can be adjusted automatically using the local AI or manually through the settings menu. So we've said a lot of things about all the cool things that is coming from this shift. Let's also talk about the limitations that come with some of these new pre-built systems that are coming out or emerging in the NAS world. So first off, you have the fact that they're still just hardware. So they're not supercomputers or anything like that. You have the CPU limits, especially with the AI, and not being able to push it further past what you can really do at home. With DIY systems, you also have more flexibility, and you always will have more flexibility in comparison to pre-built systems like this guy right here. But modern systems essentially prioritize simplicity and stability over being able to build. So like I said, it's similar to having a MacBook, which is a very easy system to use compared to a Windows desktop system, which you can pick parts up for and then build and customize however you please. What I'm really saying is DIY builds still have a place, and if you prioritize flexibility and the ability to customize however you please, then it's always going to be the best route. But these newer systems are great, and they're amazing for people that are looking for something that's simple and almost plug and play. The D6 Ultra isn't the only model from Zettlab. There's also the D4, an entry-level option for people who want to get started at a lower price point and don't necessarily need the full power or feature set of the D6 Ultra. It's even more compact with 4 drive bays instead of 6, very approachable and definitely living room or common area friendly. A few years ago, building something even at this scale required understanding parts, operating systems, and storage configurations. Now it's designed to be accessible enough to the point where even someone who isn't particularly tech savvy can set it up and use it confidently. This is exactly what NAS looks like when it stops being a hobby and starts becoming mainstream technology. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly clear this up right now. I'm not saying that you gotta abandon the cloud and wipe it off, delete all of your cloud services. No, cloud services still have a role that they play really well. So they're great as an accessibility layer. So think Google Drive, send in collaborative documents so people can actually view it and whatnot. So it's great as that, but it's also great for storing important documents that you don't want to lose. So lifetime documents, things that you want to have backed up in multiple locations, it's great for it, but they have to be small. You can't store massive video files using Drive unless you want to pay hefty amounts monthly, which I definitely don't want to do. Local has now effectively become the home of all of my digital life. So I value privacy and I value ownership and obviously saving money. So my first NAS was essentially a DIY PC build that I had to find parts for. It was more complicated to maintain, took more time to understand and learn. And now we're at AI-powered NASes, the Zettlab D6 Ultra. A simple system, sleek and modern. Both options still have value, but one thing that's for sure is that complexity is no longer a part of the equation. So anyone can go ahead and pick up a NAS now and begin using it. There's now systems out there like the D4 and the D6 Ultra, making it very accessible for just about anybody. Now, infrastructure should essentially support creativity and productivity. It shouldn't become a crazy task that requires maintenance. So as far as I'm concerned, NASes are headed in the right direction. Is your entire digital life on the cloud right now? Or do you have a NAS system where you're slowly starting to build out your own local storage? Let me know. I'll catch you guys in my next video.